Hello and welcome. It's been a very long time since I've done a LEGO set review on the YouTube channel, so I thought I'd take the opportunity, as just a few weeks ago fans of 90s sitcom Friends let out a unified exclamation of glee as 3 words flooded social media. Oh my god! Yeah, apologies for that. Not only did we find out that the long-awaited reunion episode was officially coming out, we had the teasiest of teasers, but everyone's favourite toy company announced an extra special treat was also coming. Now, it may have taken 18 months following the unexpected and highly popular Central Perk set that came out in 2019, but now one of the most iconic locations in TV history is available in brick form, with the release of LEGO Friends: The Apartments. Featuring the iconic apartments from the show, along with a section hallway connecting them, the new set is awash with Easter eggs from the show's 10-year run. Rather than focusing on a specific era in the show, we instead get a hodgepodge of references ranging from the one where no one's ready to the one with all the Thanksgivings. But don't worry if you're a little bit rusty on your Friends trivia, because while you're building it, the instruction booklet itself will actually fill you in during the build. As a lifelong fan of LEGO, and as an avid, self-proclaimed Friends nerd who's watched every episode multiple times, I was there watching the very first episode back in 1994 when it first released. I am the perfect target audience for this new set. So, the question is, does it actually do the show the justice it deserves? Let's take a look. The minifigure collection here is definitely a big selling point, as we're treated to entirely new variants of the main cast, each unique when compared to their Central Perk counterparts. Much like that earlier set, which saw the gang joined by coffee shop employee and series regular Gunther, the new set also features one of the show's primary guest stars in Chandler's on-again, off-again girlfriend Janice. Such a memorable character in our own right, Janice's inclusion will definitely be welcomed by many fans of the show. With 236 episodes to choose from, there is plenty of source material for the designer to work from with designing these minifigures. And as the initial pages of the accompanying instruction booklet explain, each figure is based on a specific episode of the show, ranging from series 1 to 7. Easily the easiest one of the pack to identify is Joey Tribbiani, sporting an interesting patchwork of printing. It's based on Series 3's The One Where No One's Ready, in which Joey comes up with a rather interesting approach to getting back at Chandler for hiding his underwear. The minifigure is sporting layer after layer of Chandler's clothes. Whilst the large red scarf isn't overly accurate, the torso and legs printing is impressively close to the show's depiction, with the different layers of shirts, ties, and even the red and yellow shorts clearly visible. Outside of the specific scope of the set, if, like me, you admire the most unique minifigures out there in the LEGO universe, this version of Joey is definitely up there with some of the more interesting, and it's a significant improvement on the Central Perks fig. The figure does, however, feature the same dual-faced headpiece and hairpiece from that version of the character. Moving on to Ross and the one with all the resolutions. Now, over the 10 years the show ran, nobody quite had the same level of embarrassing moments as the resident paleontologist. From a fake tan mishap to the glow-in-the-dark teeth, Ross has suffered more than a number of painful experiences for our enjoyment. One such event came from making a New Year's resolution to try and do something new every day. I'm sure we all remember the leather pants. While it is an easily recognisable moment from the 5th series, it sadly doesn't translate well into LEGO form, with the minifigure coming across as painfully bland with his black legs and grey shirt. Luckily, the figure does come with a bottle of talc, so it's very clear which Ross this is. As a fan of the show, I completely understand the reasoning for picking this specific moment in its history, but surely there would have been better options for a more interestingly printed minifigure? I mean, where's the holiday armadillo? Chandler's figure takes inspiration from The One with the Cat, the episode in which Joey is locked in the entertainment unit while all the furniture is stolen from the apartment. Interestingly, the design for this figure is based on the outfit he's wearing in the opening scene to that episode, which immediately gets ripped on the oversized entertainment unit. Given Chandler spent the majority of the run of the show in either a shirt and waistcoat combo or a suit, with the former covered in the Central Perk set, I'm personally quite pleased that they went with this look. It's generic enough for the character across the whole show, whilst also giving a very detailed and unique printing. I mean, just look at the tie. It's beautifully accurate. Go back and watch the episode and look at the tie, trust me. Unlike Ross and Joey, Chandler's new figure also gets a new headpiece with 2 new facial expressions. The hairpiece itself remains exactly the same, which is a bit disappointing because his hair was a lot shorter in the series it's based on. Moving on to the ladies, and Rachel's minifigure is a dramatic change from the waitress design that we saw in the Central Perk set. Coupled with probably the most famous hairstyle of the 90s, it was obvious to anyone that this was Rachel Green. The new figure, not so much. It's based on Season 1's The One Where the Monkey Gets Away. The outfit printing on the torso and legs is stunningly accurate, with the white top, the skirt, the long socks all matching Jennifer Aniston's outfit perfectly. The problem is in the new head and hair pieces. They make the figure look somewhat much more generic and less like the character from the previous incarnation. Yes, the ponytailed hairpiece is accurate, but this combined with the subtle differences on the face print somehow cheapened the figure. It looks less Rachel Green from Friends, more Pepper Potts from a Marvel set, and in all honesty, it could be used for either, and that's a little bit disappointing in my opinion. Based on The One With All the Candy, Monica's minifigure features an apron over the top of the outfit and accurately portrays the character from that episode, with one exception. The hairpiece is too short. It is. She had much longer hair in the episode. This isn't a major issue, however, as the choice to base her minifigure on something cooking related means that, much like Chandler, the figure works both as an episode-specific design but also something a bit more generalised. Whereas the Central Perk version definitely takes more inspiration from Monica's early days in the show. As a chef, she spent so much of the show cooking, so this new minifigure encapsulates the character so much better. Phoebe's new figure is another dramatic change from this Central Perk set. What is odd here, however, is the inspiration comes from The One Where Phoebe Runs. You may remember the episode. It's Phoebe going out for a run with Rachel running quite bizarrely. And yet they've not based the figure on the running outfit that the episode hints at, and the design is actually based on the outfit she's wearing right at the beginning of that episode. Now, I've already said I'm a big Friends nerd. I have encyclopedic knowledge of the show, and yet I didn't get this reference at all. Looking back at the episode for this review, however, the printing is spot on. It is absolutely perfect. The pink flowery top is wonderfully recreated here. It's just a shame that there's no printing on the arms, because there is quite a lot of detail in the actual episode. The headpiece is the same as what we got from previous sets, though I'm less of a fan of the hairpiece, in all honesty. It's a minor grievance, but in my opinion, it's too flat. As odd as it sounds, there are plenty of existing pieces that could have been used better for Phoebe's long centre-parted hair. We do, however, what we get here is something that looks more appropriate on the other LEGO Friends franchise. My favourite figure of the bunch has to be the newest addition to the lineup, Janice. Just looking at the figure, you can hear her very distinctive voice, and the unique personality of the character just shines through. Now, this figure is based on The One With Ross's library book, which sees Janice's reappearance in Series 7, sporting the big hair, the big mouth on the headpiece, and the leopard print that only Janice could pull off. This figure is perfect. It could be Janice from any season, and it's fantastic. A great addition to the set. So that's the minifigures. Let's move on to the actual build itself, the apartments. Now, this set features both of the iconic apartments from the show, as well as a hallway section connecting them. This is a sprawling set. There is no denying it. It's so big I couldn't put it all in frame for this review, so I've cut it up. It's more than twice the size of the Central Perk set, if any of you have got that, just to give you some reference. Much like that previous set as well, these large room areas are designed as TV studio sets rather than in-show versions, if that makes sense, as they feature the spotlights, so it looks like it's part of a studio rather than being an apartment building. It's an interesting design that just it piqued my interest back in 2019 with the Central Perk set, especially when you consider that similar sets such as Big Bang Theory didn't go down the same path, even though it would have made sense. Now, as you'd expect from a 2,000 piece plus set, it's not a quick build. At a casual speed, I think this took me about 6 hours to put together, with 15 bags split across the two apartments, with one of the bags being for the hallway. As a huge fan of the show, the build was so much fun to complete, because every single step that you're building it, a new Easter egg pops out. The nostalgia is very strong with this set, to the point where about an hour into the build, I found myself putting Netflix on and starting watching the show in the background while I was building it. Now, most of the time, I'll buy a Lego set because I want the finished build and I want the minifigures. I'm not fussed about the actual construction time or what the process is behind it. I buy a set for the completed product. But with this one, the building part of it is part of the experience, especially if you love the show, because as I said, as you're building it, more and more the show comes to life, and it is fantastic. From the very beginning, you're off to a great start, because bag 1 sees you building Joey and Chandler's Lazy Boy recliners on a floor section which, like the sofa area in Central Park, can be easily removed from the main build. It's an ingenious design, and it uses Technic axle and pin connectors in the floor to allow the chairs to fully recline, though they're not independent of each other. So basically, in this world, roommates recline together. From there, you begin the task of constructing the entirety that is the boys' apartment, complete with chick, duck, greyhound statue, canoe. There are so many nods to the series. Each page of the instruction manual throws up yet another reference. Similarly, the girls' apartment is just as fun to build, the sofa area again being detachable for your convenience. As you can imagine, for a set with such a specific look and feel, stickers are aplenty, with 15 of them adding just subtle details to the two apartments. They're tiny details really, they don't cheapen the set, but they're important ones that need to be done. From the posters on Joey and Chandler's walls through to the famous picture frame around the door spy hole. These stickers, they're there for a reason. And I guarantee you, when you actually do build this, as much of the set is done as a Lego build as physically possible, but given the scale of the set, there are just certain things that it just would not be possible to recreate with Lego alone. So the stickers are there for a reason. Much like the Central Perk set, it is the intricate details which set this apart from other similar sets. I mean, it's incredible the detail that has gone into this. For me, one of the biggest highlights of the older set was the coffee machine area that sits behind Gunther. The amazing complexity that went into the design without needing to use specific pieces. Everything in there is available in other sets. It was an impressive feat for the designer. Similarly, the two apartments, the kitchen areas are brilliantly designed, adding so much source material accurate design, but using elements seen elsewhere. The fussball table is a definite standout piece. It's wonderfully created and it works really well around the already brilliantly designed environments. The final part of the model is the hallway segment, which connects the two apartments together. There's nothing overly exciting about this section other than that it's got a bit of broken cheesecake on the floor. That's a reference I'm sure any fan will get. In terms of the build, it keeps consistent look and feel of the apartments. The most important thing to note with this particular section is the apartments are never physically connected to the hallway. Rather, in the modular builds, you've got the Technics connector allowed you to physically connect them together. Whereas here, they just slide into place. So be very, very careful if you need to pick this model up to move it. They're not connected, so do it piece by piece. So, in summary, it's a great set. But very early on, with a set like this, I do take the time to actually read the instructions in the initial pages of the instruction booklet. And the first line from the designer in this one did concern me. And I quote, "I wasn't familiar with the show when I started working on this model." That scared me because, you know, this is a passion piece. This is something that someone wants because they love the show. And yet, he achieved something truly great. The Lego Friends, The Apartments, is not just a brilliant companion set for the Central Perk set, but it succeeds in brilliantly being a true homage to a almost universally loved TV show. Despite a decade's worth of ever-changing characters and stories, this set throws the best bits together into an amalgamation of awesome, which any fan will not only enjoy the finished model, but also enjoy every stage of the build. As I said before, it's reference after reference after reference. It is brilliant. In my opinion, a couple of the minifigure designs, they could have been better. They could have chosen different episodes to focus on, but the fact that we get 7 brand new exclusive minifigures to add to our collection certainly adds value to the set as a whole. As a fan of the show, I adore this set. I enjoy building this set, and I found a newfound urge to re-watch all of the episodes again that are referenced in this set. It just has that appeal from other people I've spoken to that have got this set. It has that effect on you if you are a fan of the show. Anyway, the set itself, if you're watching this prior, it comes out on June 1st for general purchase, and it's available now if you're a VIP member. Anyway, thank you for watching the video. I hope you've enjoyed this review. I do hope to do more reviews moving forward. As I said, it's been a very long time since I've done one on the YouTube channel. Please do let me know what you think of the set, or what you think of the show. If you enjoyed the show, let me know. If you do have any questions about the set, anything I've not covered here, leave a comment. As soon as I see it, I'll try my best to answer. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Please do like the video if you enjoyed it. And thank you to everyone that supported the channel thus far. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.